Happy Friday. The 49ers will pick today. They obviously didn't pick yesterday, and for some reason it's causing a lot of people to freak out. The terrible take on social media is that it's a foregone conclusion. The Eagles and the Seahawks, with their 2 first-round picks apiece, have completely outpaced the 49ers talent-wise now, and Kyle Shanahan's team should essentially just give up. But I'm not kidding. I'm seeing a lot of these really bad takes, and I get it. People want to make sweeping generalizations in the heat of the moment because, yes, that gets you attention on the internet. That makes your mind, feel that it's wrapped some things up. But the case is that the draft and NFL rosters in general are constant works in progress. They're like the cathedral in Barcelona, the Sagrada Familia. They're never finished. You're constantly building them. But to make a sweeping judgment after day one of the draft is absolutely insane because we don't even know if the players who were added to rosters yesterday are going to be any good in the NFL. For the Philadelphia Eagles, it's Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle. They needed somebody to replace Javon Hargrave, who's obviously now with the 49ers, and Nolan Smith, the edge rusher. The 49ers, if you look at this objectively, the 49ers actually know what they're getting in Javon Hargrave. This whole swap of players, this whole movement this offseason, the 49ers can probably rest the easiest because Javon Hargrave is a veteran who's established, so what you see is going to be what you get if you're the 49ers. But this whole idea that the Eagles picking Jalen Carter is some kind of 100% foolproof move is absolutely insane. The guy just slid a few spots yesterday because teams weren't sure about him. Doesn't seem that Georgia is all too torn up about Jalen Carter leaving. Who remembers all the red flags at his pro day, right? He wasn't even in shape at his pro day. Obviously, you have the character issues off the field. This is anything but a surefire pick. Is he talented? Yes. But is this a surefire success for the Philadelphia Eagles? Is it, a foregone conclusion that he's going to be as good or better than Javon Hargrave? Hell no. In fact, the probability of things and the likelihood of things says that he'll probably be worse than Javon Hargrave, at least early on. Then you have Nolan Smith later in the first round, so the Eagles are putting a lot into Georgia defensive linemen. The other team that 49ers fans are really worried about is the Seattle Seahawks. Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback, going at number 5 for the Seahawks, and then Jackson Smith-Njigba, the wide receiver, going later on, I think, at number 20 for Seattle. So did Seattle give themselves a chance to get better? Yes, of course. 2 talented players. Draft analysts think that they're at the top of their respective position groups. But until guys actually play a down in the NFL, you just don't know. And you have to play more than one down in the NFL. Let's put it that way. I think with Nick Bosa, he was one of those exceptions, right? We saw one down from Nick Bosa in the NFL against Tampa Bay, week 1 of 2019. We're like, oh, this guy's good. But still, even then, he had to prove durability. He had to prove that he could, develop counter adjustments once the league's offensive tackles adjusted to him. This is a long process, and the draft isn't determined to be a success or a failure on draft night, especially after only one round of the draft. The draft is, the way that you evaluate the draft is that you say that, and I use this analogy a lot, but I'm going to just keep on saying it because people don't seem to be grasping it. It's throwing a bunch of darts up against the wall and seeing which ones stick because you're not going to have a 100% success rate. For the 49ers perspective, it's a lot easier to go 4 for 11, 4 hits, 11 picks, than it is 4 for 4. So that's why I don't think that the 49ers are going to be in the business of trading all too much. Maybe a couple trades to move up here and there, but there's a reason why historically for all NFL teams, trading up has not been a great proposition. And that's because you don't know what you're getting in the draft. You can guess what you're getting. You can make educated decisions. You can maximize your chances of success, but you don't know. If you knew, then, the one GM in you could build a Super Bowl title winner immediately through one draft. You'd pick the guys that are all surefire prospects, but there is no such thing as a surefire prospect. So because of that, you play the numbers game. You maximize your chances of success by playing it like baseball, right? A good hitter in baseball is only going to be on base. Well, Barry Bonds was on base like 60% of the time, but a good hitter in baseball is only going to be on base, about 40% of the time at most. Maybe a little bit higher than that. So you maximize the plate appearances, and then you battle each plate appearance, and then you find a way to make it work in the aggregate over the long run. And that's what the draft is going to be about for the 49ers. That's what the whole process has been about over the past several years. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Eagles got immeasurably better or the Seahawks got immeasurably better, because I don't need the clicks. We don't know how much better those teams got, and we won't know when we can speculate about it, and that's all fun and games, but we can't speak definitively until the actual regular season starts. So the 49ers are going to be on the clock tonight. We'll see if they decide to move up a little bit or if they stay put at number 99. If they stay put at 99, 101, and 102, they're going to have 3 of the final 4 picks of the third round. It's going to be insanely busy there at the end of the third round. That wraps up today on Friday. And it would put a bow on what's going to be a crazy night for Northern California sports. Warriors, Kings at 5. If the 49ers don't move, then they probably pick shortly after Warriors and Kings wrap up, and they pick 3 times, almost in succession. So it's going to be crazy. I am looking forward to all of that happening tonight. If the 49ers do trade up, they probably pick while Warriors and Kings are playing Game 6. You might be wondering where I'm at. Stand up. I'm on a rooftop here in Redwood City. I'm sure some of you are from Redwood City. So we'll spin it around, take a look at downtown Redwood City, which I really enjoy. It's one of the underrated downtowns here in the Bay Area. Vesta is where I'm going to go for lunch in all likelihood. Might be the best restaurant on the peninsula. It's awesome. It's small plates and pizza. So maybe I check in from Vesta today before I head down to Santa Clara. All right, don't freak out. No overreactions, please. They're ridiculous. They're stupid when it comes to the NFL draft.